All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakathum. And Brother Rob, man, reacting to another video on this guy's channel. His name is Jimmy Dore. Now, you can see the title of this video, which I won't use my voice to say any of these words because, that's how YouTube has it. They just have our voices, basically flagged. And I think they can tell when you're reacting to someone else's video, when they say particular words, we know there's a big no-no in terms of not getting strikes. But without further ado, I'll play some of this, man. You're going to see how crazy this really is. You're going to see how close we are to the end.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
So I like how Klaus Schwab answers the question, what if George Soros was somehow more sinister and less charismatic? If you thought the future sounded nightmarish before, just wait till you hear it described in a German accent.
Yeah, man. Now I'm gonna just get a precept real quick just to start this whole thing off, and I won't make this too long. But this is Habakkuk 2, and 1 it says, "I will stand up on my watch and set me up on the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved." All right. So this is the spirit that we're in. Okay, the spirit of watching, and that requires diligence, because there's no point of being a watchman if you're not going to be diligent. If you're just going to fall asleep, take naps, spiritually, that's you guys that take breaks, that go back into the world for a little bit, take long vacations, nonchalant about putting out videos, warning the flock. There should be something in your spirit that convicts you, but there's not. And that's how we know the Lord is separating the men of the elect from the men that are just called. Lord willing, I be of that number, man. But that's the time we're in to watch. It says, verse 2, and the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right. So we have the vision. The Lord, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, we got the breakdowns. Okay. From the visions, many visions that were given, and we're going to read the one that John the Revelator wrote about. And we make it plain. We read the scriptures, we break them down, and we translate it, say this is going to be something the size of a rice grain that's going to go in your head or your hand. That's us making it plain. All right. And we're supposed to spread this information. That's why it says that he may run that readeth it. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Everything we said is coming to pass, man. It's about to be found out that this Bible is no joke. The scriptures say prophecy is of no private interpretation. That means it ain't gonna be what I think this might mean or could mean. No, it has one meaning. All right. And that meaning and the correct meaning is what we've been breaking down to you the whole time. All right. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So we've been crying and pleading with the Lord to speed this thing up so it comes faster. And the Lord's doing it, man. Look at this. Look how openly they're talking about this on the World Economic Forum. And we found out that this guy, Klaus Schwab, he's related to Karl Marx, who's relating to Gutenberg, the Gutenbergers, whose name were the Bowers, who we know they changed their name to Rothschilds. So we see these lineages of these people. Now he's in that same area. Remember, the Rothschilds, they ruled out of Vienna, Austria for a long time. And you see this guy's accent, he's from the same region. Okay. Karl Marx, the same thing. He's a so-called Amalekite from that region. All right. But anyway.
That does make it a lot worse.
Can you imagine Klaus Schwab directly in your brain? Look how excited the guy he's talking to is. Just to imagine that bright future. You see how excited he is. You want to hear his answer? Here it is.
Yeah, he looks through.
I think that is imaginable. I think
I can imagine a lot of shit, Klaus.
Right. See, he say, I think that's imaginable. Because, see, most people think when we say the hand or the forehead, they're like, no, there's no way. That's not going to happen. It sounds far-fetched where this guy has to say it seems imaginable. But now we see one of the so-called leaders of the world, he's pushing it. And all of the infrastructure. We know the Pentagon has already made billions and billions of these devices already. They've already disclosed it. They already have the CBDC, the currency, the banking, all of that's linked up. It's already ready to go. We just need charlatans like this to try to push it and pacify the public. You know, and what this guy's up to is a whole lot of wicked shit, man. I'll just say that.
You see him? It's imaginable, asshole. That's what that is. He's like rolling his eyes at Klaus.
I think, you can imagine that. You can imagine, well, you're going to be sort of transplanted into, the internet, so to speak, to live forever in a digital realm. You can imagine that, you just in your biological incarnation are going to live to be some, very long age.
So what do you make of that, Jackson? Should I play it again? Let me play it again.
But yeah, play one
advancing
more time.
very fast. But can you imagine that in 10 years
how
when
proud
we are
that devil
sitting
is,
here,
man.
we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your
You saw that? He said you all will. You all will. He's not saying that with any hesitancy, man. Revelation 13. All right. Let's see. I'll start at 13. Revelation 13:13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. We know that goes back to his when he got jet propelled airplanes, so-called fighter jets, the World War I, World War II era. And it started with missiles and nukes. Okay, and that's basically been his means of warfare, is making fire come down from heaven ever since then, man. All right, it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Okay, so he used that to basically get everybody to make the U.S. dollar, man, the petrodollar. All of that can't, because why did Saudi Arabia agree to underpin their oil to the U.S. dollar? For military protection. So they leverage their military ability, okay, to make a covenant with the Saudi Arabians to basically enslave the world economically. All right? Because that's how he's colonizing today. He's not colonizing with ships showing up on shores anymore. No. He's peddling this U.S. dollar, man. And part of those miracles that he was able to make happen, all right, he used that power to leverage it, man. It says, verse 14 again, he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now that wounded beast that did live was reincarnated. Now it's the Roman Empire, man. All right. Now, when you look at all what's colloquially known as the West, and this goes back to the quote unquote Holy Roman Empire, all right, out of Italy during the Renaissance era, that's that beast that basically revived itself. All right. But he wants to make an image to the first one. All of the gods here, they all go back to the Roman era, man. The laws go back to the Roman era. The architecture goes back to the Roman era. The high holy days goes back to the Roman era, man. And we know the Romans recycled it from the Greeks, and the Greeks recycled it from, from Babylon and Egypt. There's nothing new under the sun, But it says, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, that's what this guy is about. That's what's getting ready to happen. If you don't get plugged into the grid, if you don't, that you're already seeing it with speech. You can't say certain things. You're already seeing it with this guy's Andrew Tate. He got canceled. They would freeze his whole bank account if they could. Just for the things that he's saying. All right. If you're not with the rainbow agenda, then they're gonna put you in a box. The categoreo, as we say it, and that's what it is in the Greek. All right. When you read about the accuser of our brethren come down, that's what this is. They're gonna accuse us. All right. They're gonna demonize us first, and then they're gonna try to get the entire population on board with you getting put to death. See, they're normalizing taking people's income and silencing them and getting them off the internet. But that's just the beginning of it, man. Okay? It's not going to just end there with censorship and the demonization. That's written in Sirach. And Salaki is getting longer already, but I didn't mean to make this too long. You see, is it Sirach 22? Yep. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 22 and 24. As vapor and smoke of a furnace goeth before the fire, so reviling before blood. All right, so just as smoke comes before fire, reviling comes before blood. Reviling goes into strongly criticizing and condemning. Criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. That's what we're seeing with guys like Andrew Tate. So the scriptures is basically saying when that starts happening, that's right before blood happens. Now, what does the scripture say right here? It says, and verse Revelation 13 and 15, starting in the middle here, it says, and cause it that as many as would not worship the image should be killed. So we know this is coming next, man. We know it.
Your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
I think that is imaginable. I think.
Okay.
So they're laughing at him.
Jackson, let me get your reaction to that. That's not scary, is it? I wonder why people have conspiracy theories around Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum.
It's
right. They call it conspiracy theories. They demonize that word conspiracy theory, but that's really to shut down the truth, because what this guy is talking about is direct prophecy. They're gonna come up with buzzwords and catchphrases and things to castigate us and cast everything that we're saying down, but that's just the means to shut down the truth.
It's all the more frightening when you know the people who are advising him. People like, have you heard of Yuval Noah Harari?
I'm going to show a video of him in a second. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's wicked as hell.
What he talks about makes what Klaus Schwab is discussing look like, kindergarten. It's like, what they want to do is they want to make it so we don't have any sovereignty. We don't have any.
So you heard that the guy that's advising him is even more wicked, man. You see, the guy advising him is even more wicked, man. Let's type in the word counsel here. Forget the precept that comes to mind. Let me see. This is Psalms. Yeah, one in here, Psalms 33 and 10, it says, the Lord Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. All right. So we know that heathen have always conspired against us, man. This whole thing of conspiracy theories, that's the counsel of the heathen. All right. But they call it a conspiracy theory because we don't have definitive proof, but we know, man. We know. This is Psalm 71:10. It says, "For mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together." Now, that guy that's with him, that they're getting ready to show, he's counseling this guy. He's part of his advisory board, or whatever you want to call it. All right. Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. There's many scriptures on the counsel of the wicked, okay? But let me just go back.
Free will, and we don't have any free will. And what they want to do is they want to make it so we don't have any sovereignty, we don't have any free will, and having a chip in your head is just a part of it.
Yeah, so you said they're trying to get rid of free will. Now, free will is already not a thing, but what he's saying is Esau wants to control your will. See, our will is of the Most High. Everybody's will is. You have no choice. You can't resist the Most High. But he's saying Esau wants his own will over you. He doesn't want free thought. That's a threat. So you got to put something in your brain.
That's right. And where does he get who influences him? Where does he get his ideas from? What is the great thinker that was the biggest influence on Klaus Schwab? You ready for this?
Back to the time you said when you came here, it transformed your life. Was there a course, a professor who really made that difference for you?
Yes, there was one course, one seminar of Henry Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger!
There it is. You see, they're all related. The Oppenheimers, the Kissingers, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Astors, you name it, man. There's a bunch of these different names that they go by, but you see they change their names over time. They disguise themselves. This guy's family wasn't named always Schwab. He used to be a Marx, and Marx used to be Gutenbergers, and Gutenbergers used to be Bowers. Bowers changed their name to Rothschild, but they split. So you see these different lineages, they branch off from one another and they change their names. You see? The royal, quote unquote, royal family, they're of that lineage too, but they don't go by those same surnames. All right? But they're all related. Now you're going to start to see it comes together that these people are the Edomites. Esau we've been telling you about. Amalek, the chief among them, controlling everything. All right? You're going to see that there is one hegemony, there's one beast. There's no such thing as sovereign nations today, okay? Because this guy is in rulership. You see?
Henry Kissinger is the guy who excited his brain to do what he's doing.
Which really opened my eyes. I wasn't accepted to the seminar, but I said...
Henry Kissinger, a warmonger, a criminal, all right, a thief, spreader of poison. These people got to go, man.
I think he let me in because I was German. And it was relatively shortly after the war. There were not too many Germans here. And this created a friendship which has endured until today. And Henry has been several times in Davos. And I think it was mainly participating in his seminars that I developed my interest for geopolitical affairs.
Now, how did he get juiced up with that
Kissinger.
guy? How did he get juiced up with that guy, Henry Kissinger, man? Henry Kissinger, German-born. He was in the so-called or the United States State Department, which they're nothing but warmongers. They go into the guise of politicians and diplomats, but they go over there to threaten people. Okay, threaten you with sanctions. Who decides whether a nation gets on the sanction list? It's between the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, and the Secretary of Treasury. All right. They go in. This guy goes in. He tries to get them to play ball. They don't want to play ball. They sanction them through the Treasury. The Treasury, that doesn't work. Then the Defense Department gets involved. Now we gotta, we gotta find a reason to bring democracy to your nation, so to speak. So look, he's known for a ceasefire between Vietnam, but his people are responsible for there to be war to begin with, man. This guy got a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's just a master of propaganda and bullshit, man. Anyway,
that he developed his interest in geopolitical affairs.
Jeez.
He's like if Dr. Strangelove wasn't a doctor, just some German jagoff who sucked up to Henry Kissinger. That's what that is. There's more from him.
I'm convinced that we will destroy, unfortunately, a lot of employment. Just think of self-guided cars and all the drivers losing their jobs. Let's look at the bank.
now you heard that, right? He said we will unfortunately, which he doesn't care, we will unfortunately destroy lots of employment, self-driving cars, all of these different things. Now, let me go back to Revelation 13. This is the 16th verse, which we all know. It says he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, all right, in the right hand of foreheads. All right, so you have to ask yourself, what stage is being set right here? Now, we talked about the implant that he's talking about, okay, that he brought up. I didn't bring this up, so YouTube, you got to talk to that guy, all right? I'm just reporting information. But it says, and that no man might buy or sell, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, all right? So that's where this is all going. When he says the unemployment's going to go away, well, what are you going to do for money? Where do you think this is all going? This is the same guy that says you will own nothing and be happy. He's the same guy that wants something in your forehead, and he's the same guy that wants total control over the economy. Remember, he's over the World Economic Forum. All right, so he's trying to take over the economy itself. This entity right here is going to be a prime actor in the World War III debacle, which we know it's very, very close. Very close.
Employees and so on.
If you're left behind, you're facing something far worse, which is to be completely irrelevant. They won't even need you as a serf or as a slave. Direct brain-computer interfaces, replacing organic hands with bionic hands, adding to the body a second immune system.
Right. You see how they're talking? All right. Is this anybody else but who the scriptures speak about as the man of sin, the son of perdition? All right. This is Revelation 16 and 14. It says, let me just go to it. This speaks about the three unclean spirits. Revelation 16 and 13, it says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. All right. And this guy is he's part of that. All right. It says, and out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. So they're all, so we teach that this is the Vatican, London, the financial arm over there in the UK, and then DC, which is the military branch. You have a military, a finance, and a religious branch. All right, headed out of DC, London, and the Vatican. All right. Now, all of these guys are going to speak out of different angles of it. He's speaking on the financial side of it because they're the economic forum, but you're going to have the military side. America's going to back this. This whole great do it over again, I'll just say that. The New World Order. Eventually, Joe Biden or one of these clowns, they're going to completely endorse it. Then that's two. And then watch the Vatican. The Pope is going to come out and do it. The Pope is going to speak the same bullshit they're spitting. He's going to tell you, this guy in Rome, he's going to tell you to get that thing in your hand. All right? He's going to tell you, don't worry about unemployment. Just get the thing in your hand and play ball. It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Now, the thing that this guy is describing is miracles, man.
Adding to the body a second immune system, which is not organic, but an inorganic immune system, made up of millions of tiny nanorobots inside your body. And if
second immune system. Now, see how he speaks about it as and it is a miracle to him to do all these things, calling fire from heaven, having nanobots in your body, communicating with your mind through computers and the transhumanism whole movement. Now, those things are miracles. What he's speaking about is going to be such a great benefit to you. But when you really look at it, it's also a weapon. So because now something is in your body that he controls, nanobots. This goes back to Metal Gear Solid, man. You have Metal Gear Solid fans. That video game from in the 90s, man. You see? But going back, Revelation 16 and 14, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world. So they're on the World Economic Forum spewing this madness, bro. You see? It's crazy. You see how the Bible has completely predicted all of this? This is all through the Spirit, man. We see these things coming and we're here to warn. It says, which go forth unto the kings of the earth, because who are they speaking to? They're speaking to the world leaders. They don't care about Lil Uzi Vert or any so-called black leader, Tariq Nasheed. They don't care about you niggas. They're going to global leaders to say, make sure your people get on board with this. All right? To finish verse 14, it says, to gather them to battle of the great day of the God Almighty. Now, we know what he's saying here, what he's talking about. That means, he just directly says it here, that's going to gather the kings of the earth to that great day of battle. So this is going to cause a major conflict, this guy is talking about doing. Why? Because it's going to be tied to the money, and there's a whole heap of US dollars out there. Guaranteed it's going to cause it.
If we hack the brain, and if we understand how billions of neurons create subjective experiences of anger and love and pain and pleasure, then there should be no barrier for recreating these kinds of experiences based on silicon and not carbon, based on
So that's his number one advisor, by the way. That guy you just heard talking, that's the number one advisor to Klaus Schwab. And here's some more of that guy. That guy's name is Yuri. What is his name?
Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah.
A couple of decades, when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored.
When everything became monitored.
Right. You see that? So that whole thing that happened in 2020, they planned it. You can see. They basically are just saying it to you now, man. This is the time where everything went digital. This is the everything where everything went monitored For you guys that say that this thing in Revelation 13:16 is a philosophy, it's Christianity. Well, what is this guy talking about? What is the world leader, the people in rulership? What are they saying? We're in the end days, aren't we? The scriptures clearly say you're not going to be able to buy or sell. What's going to stop you from doing that? It's nothing. It's not going to be metaphysical. It's going to be physical. And it's going to have to be a conscious decision, part of the hour of temptation, that you make a choice whether or not you do it or not. It's none of these other things you guys are talking about. It's not an embargo. All right. It's not sin. That whole thing is folly, man.
This is the moment. He's talking about COVID. This was
all the
moment.
Biodata collection, all that stuff.
Yeah, right. So watch, he'll explain it.
Agreed to be surveyed all the time.
Hang on, let me back it up.
Moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian machines, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. Because really we haven't seen anything.
Under the skin. Now how much more plain does it have to get to you rebellious, reprobate niggas, man, that buck up against the true doctrine? You're going to get a lot of Israelites killed, man. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to fuck you niggas up, man. Because you don't have the spirit of a watchman, because your logical conclusion, your deductive reasoning is lazy. Okay? It's not sin. It's something is about to cause great distress on everybody. The whole world. Okay? What was this thing he's talking about in 2020? That was the whole world. That's how he looped everybody in. Now, who's the mouthpiece of pushing this new way forward? The World Economic Forum. World. You guys are out of your minds, man. And the Lord is going to fuck you up. For those of you guys that are not sincere in this thing, man, that are just pushing it because you're in your emotions about something, the Lord is going to deal with you, man. Because this thing is upon us. It's plain.
Anything yet. I think that the big process that's happening right now in the world is hacking human beings, the ability to hack humans, to understand deeply what's happening within you, what makes you go.
Who is it? I will be like the Most High. He wants to hack us. Now, this guy ain't the devil, man. For you guys that says Esau's gone, who else is doing this, man? Who else is self-proclaimed white people under the guise of his superiority? Okay, who else is doing this, man? Who else lines up with the scriptures? What time is it? Are we in the time of the eschaton? Which eschaton just means the end. When you study eschatology, it's the study of the end times. Are we in the eschaton? If we are, then you have to answer questions, man. Who would be in rulership? What would be going on? How will we know who the Israelites are in the end time? What events precede the major events that's gonna bring in the change to the kingdom of heaven, man? No critical thinking at all with you guys, man. Shit pissed me off.
For that, the most important data is not what you read and who you meet and what you buy, it's what's happening inside your body. So we had these two big revolutions, the computer.
And this guy's never been able to crack DNA. He's never been able to figure out the Most High's creation in totality, but he's close. He knows a lot. Scriptures say he's wiser than the children of light. I believe he has the ability to go and try to mess with portals and things like that, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't have all of it. He's got theories, he's got ideas, he's knocking on the door, but his plans ultimately are just going to be upset. The thing that he prepared his mind to do, the scriptures say in Job that his hands would not perform his enterprise. This is an enterprise, this whole, what you see right here in the corner that I'm circling, the great, you know what?
The science revolution, or the infotech revolution, and the revolution in the biological sciences. And they are still separate, but they are about to merge. They are merging around, I would say, the biometric sensor. It's the thing, it's the gadget.
This is the guy informing. He's the main informant or advisor to Klaus Schwab. What is he talking about? He's the brains behind it.
The technology that converts biological data into digital data that can be analyzed by computers. And having the ability to really monitor people under the skin, this is the biggest game changer of all.
I'm going to end it there, man. The video's been going on long enough, man, but you can see.
So, I guess that's from, I don't know where these...
You can see that this is, we're there, man, you know? This is that digital all. I'll probably title the video that, but I'll end it there, man. Thanks for listening, Akim. Leave some comments down, precepts if you have them, but hopefully this lesson was edifying. I'll end it there. With that, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal, and Shalom.